Well, joining us right now on AOA, an interesting company that came across my desk here a few weeks ago, and I really wanted to talk more about what they are doing in agriculture and some of the very interesting and cool things I think that they have available to farmers, and just in general, have a discussion about where things stand with the economics and more in farm country and looking at the broader picture, so to speak. Joining us now to tell us more about Agrellus, he's their CEO, Chris Johnson. Chris, great to connect with you, sir. Hope all is well.
Yeah, doing good, Jesse. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I look forward to coming on to AOA because you got this thriving audience out there. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, Agrellus, we started about 6 or 7 years ago, and our mission was to always give back to farmers and ranchers, and so we've been able to do that. Jesse, what we do is basically pay farmers. So that's our slogan. We pay farmers, and we've stuck to that simply because we've designed our technology platform to take data off of every acre, really across the U.S. and across the world, and be able to change that into dollars that farmers can use. So yeah,
And
so
that's
that's fun.
it's a really interesting concept here that I'd love to dive into more, Chris. It's
Yeah.
it's something that I think with where things are right now, a lot of farmers are looking at a very big cost price squeeze and more. But
Mhm.
break this down for us, because I think the technology and the things that you're offering here to kind of help farmers shop around in some ways and things of
Yeah.
that nature. Talk about this a little bit more for us.
Yeah, so Agrellus, what we designed was the ability for a farmer to get on and use the system to find inputs of any sort. At the same time, to be competitive. So our network of retailers really help the farmer shop to get the best deal. So that was the basis for the idea some 7 years ago. We have morphed off of that in many different ways. So one aspect of it is to actually get the savings. So typically 20 to 30% savings simply by using the platform. And that's because it's competitive, or you find better inventory different places. Retailers have to get inventory to different places. So it makes it really nice. We at Agrellus do not own product. So we're very unique. We do not inventory a thing. So you can think of us sort of as the Amazon style, right? But what we do is, since we don't own product, we have a really big advantage of putting value on every piece of that data. And then what we do is bring that benefit back to the farmer. So that's the baseline product. What we've added to that, Jesse, is the ability to use biologicals, microbials. We measure those things in a thing called Proving Ground. Proving Ground says, okay, this is how much agronomic, economic effect you would get out of that. So that adds another $6 or $7, up to $15 an acre, sometimes even more than that for the farmer. So you add 20 or $30 simply on savings on inputs. You put another 15 or 20 on top of that with a better type of product. And then we have sustainability products in another division that adds up to like $25 per acre. So you can get up in the 65, 75, $85 per acre simply by using the network.
And I love how you frame that up. You mentioned it. You took the words out of my mouth, kind of like an Amazon style. It's a marketplace for producers. And,
Right.
Chris, I know you have a ton of experience in the ag industry, and you talk with folks throughout agriculture as well on your Dirt and Bull podcast.
Yeah.
If folks can't tell, Chris is pretty good behind a microphone here. But from your perspective, as you look at things, and I think this brings us, into a broader conversation of, it's no secret that times are tough in ag right now. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of folks are really looking hard at their return on investment. They
Mhm.
did this year, but especially as we think about 2026, Chris.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Dirt and Bull. So we need like and subscribers. I mean, yeah, everybody needs to go out there and listen. But the whole impetus of Dirt and Bull is to bring on some of the best I would say, experts in the field of carbon sustainability, energy, what feeds back to every acre. So the ability of say an ethanol plant to be able to help a farmer get more money, for his for the feedstock that's coming into the ethanol plant, that is what we really pay attention to. So in Dirt and Bull, we bring on those type of folks to help the farmers understand, how can I monetize my acres better? And so just a plethora of different types of regenerative farmers, ranchers. How do you count cows accurately?
Mhm.
There's a lot of different ways to monetize all the way up to the enterprise. And so Agrellus, being a data platform, and my background is technology, so being able to help the farmer really utilize that data is truly the key. And so we take that all the way back up the supply chain to the enterprise, to the manufacturers, all the way through the entire industry in a very cohesive way. And that allows the farmer to take full advantage of that through our network.
And I just think about, again, having the ability to look at different products. You mentioned many of them that are on the Agrellus platform, and all
Mhm.
the different ways that farmers can make money on their operation. So much of it used to be, okay, I put corn, soybeans, wheat, cotton, sorghum in the ground, and or I have livestock, and
Mhm.
that's my source of income. But the way things have evolved with technology here in 2025, there are more ways and more opportunities to have income into the farming operation, Chris.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well said. I think what I look at the term ag tech is not some new thing that a farmer has to buy. I think it's the data that he or she can utilize on the farm while they're in the tractor. They should be able to kind of hedge against some of the non-profitability that they've been after. So commodities, they change at a whim, and so we have to help them be able to see the data quicker, with more speed, with more accuracy, get them to the retailers that can help them the most, get them to the supply chain that can help them the most. And then by doing that, it just gives us an opportunity then, through like Dirt and Bowl and a few other things like the Center Pivot Music Awards. We kind of talked about that earlier. We're going to be offering things to the farming and ranching community that are very unique, that help kind of pay back to what they do. They spend a lot of time uh, on the tractor, really producing what we need to eat here in the U.S. and what all the animals need to eat, and in order to keep us alive. So it's important that we don't burden them with another reason to try to figure out data or try to figure out all of the stuff that technology has out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm sure a lot of producers who are listening in, they're probably asking the question, how do I get connected? What does it cost me? Things like that. So tell us about
Yeah.
connecting with the Agrellus platform. Are there costs associated? How do folks get signed up? Try it out. Talk about that for us,
Yeah,
Chris.
that's great. I mean, the easy part about Agrellus that is always free to the farmer. So the www.agrellus.com, just go to the main website. It'll take you to the .farm user interface. You simply sign up. So there's no fee, never will be a fee. So you'll also encounter some of our AI on there that you can train to be your own farmer if you want to. So there's some different things that we're coming into 2026 with. But the fun part about it is that it's always and will always remain completely complementary to the farmer, to the rancher. We employ really the entire supply chain to really pay the bill for us. So I think because the reason is we bring them high value data and high integrity validation certification of products, things like that they need in order to vet out their products.
In a way, it's almost as if you're trying to create a community within the ag community, so to speak, here, and just provide more opportunity for farmers when it comes to data and opportunity and things of that nature, Chris.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we recognize that farmers are retailers are manufacturers, so that whole supply chain is well connected. Uh, when it gets to the farmer, though, they are the equity partner. They own that, either own the land, lease the land, do something with the land, which is completely separate from the supply chain in a way. So we just try to enhance that, make it more valuable for the farm to transition that monetary value into the supply chain.
Well, Chris, you covered a lot of ground here. Anything final you would mention, reiterate to folks just about the work that you and your team are doing there at Agrellus?
Yeah, I think you brought it up. I think we have a really excellent team of farmers. We're actually invested in by farmers, which is a good thing. But we always want to have and will have the mission of giving full complementary services to farmers and ranchers, and then high value data. And that's what the enterprises, manufacturers want all the time. So we're all about that, and then having fun. So Dirt and Bull, the Center Pivot Music Awards that are coming out next year, those type of things are just a plethora of fun, and it gets us fully engaged in the community.
Well, being a musician myself, I know we're going to talk more about the Center Pivot Music Awards when you
Yeah.
release more information on that, Chris. And encourage folks to check out the Dirt and Bull podcast or go to agrellus.com, agrellus.farm for more information. Chris Johnson, CEO of Agrellus. Great to talk with you, sir. Thanks for joining us on AOA, and we'll look forward to talking again real soon.
All right, Jesse. Thanks a lot.